Harambe YouTube, it is Charles here, and it is Thursday, so you know what that means. It is time for another action figure unboxing, and this is an action figure I wonder if I would ever get. It is a wrestler I've been following since his days on the independent scene, all the way up to New Japan. I thought at one point he might get signed by WWE, but that never happened. But he went on to become a star in All Elite Wrestling. And I have the All Elite Wrestling Unmatched Will Ospreay, the aerial assassin himself, in my collection finally. So we're going to open it up. We're going to judge it by my regular 3A criteria. That is appearance, articulation, and accessories. And we're going to see what, I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think of the action figure. I can barely hold my excitement for it. So without further ado, I'm going to rip into it. Before, let's take a look at the packaging here. You have the big window in front, standard AEW packaging. And on the back, you have other figures from the line. We have the original Surfer Sting, Darby Allin, Jay White, which I have in my collection, Will Ospreay, of course, Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, with the eye patch, and I believe this is Sky Blue's first inline action figure, so that's available. I actually got this at a great price on sale through Walmart.com. It was like $21, and I couldn't pass it up, so let's get into it. I am not a net on-card collector, so I'm just going to tear this packaging up and get to the good stuff. Alright, there we go. Get him in frame here. Get a good look at that while I take out the accessories. Now, I believe he has a Jazwares exclusive action figure and a more detailed action figure available on Ringside Collectibles with the ring jacket and everything else. This is just the bare bones action figure. I don't need all the fancy accessories for a premium price right now. But yeah, we got them all open, so let's start with appearance. Of course, it looks... let's get a look at this facial scan here. It looks just like him. We'll get a close-up here, get him right up to the camera. Great facial scan. I like what they did with the texturing of the hair. You can see it taper down into a fade. There seems to be no painting errors or anything on that. And, you know, he has a couple of wrinkles and, a couple of, marks. You can tell he is not a rookie wrestler. While he is not old, he has been in the business for quite some time now. The first I heard of him was when he was working with WCPW, and in that iconic match him and Ricochet had at the Best of the Super Juniors in 2016. The match that I personally thought was amazing. A lot of people hated it. They said it was an acrobatic show, but to me it was just exciting, fun wrestling. But that's when he really hit my eyes and became one of my favorite, most anticipated wrestlers to watch. So yeah, the face is great. The torso is pretty bare bones. We have wrist tape, but nothing else going on. We have one elbow pad on the right side. And the pants are pretty cool. Let's see if I can describe the design for you here. Get a good look at that. Yeah, it's a dragon. We have the black pants with the green and silver etching, and a very intricate dragon design on the side of the legs there. Very, very cool design. I like that a lot. And it's pretty sleek, going all the way down to the boots here. A little bit of detail in the boots here. You see the white stripe. And the kick pads kind of wrapping around the wrestling shoe. So they did a little bit with the texture. I like the different texture variations going on here. They stand out despite the flat black paint. So as far as appearance, I give it an A. A solid A. It looks like him. The gear is great. The art is great. There are no blemishes or, you know, paint, splotches or anything like that. So I definitely dig it. Now the articulation looks like we're going to have standard Jazwares. The head is on a ball joint, and of course it goes back and forth. And we have no hairstyle that's going to impede the motion of the head, so you can get full range of motion there. Going down to the shoulders, they go all the way around, of course, and then up and down. And we have a cut between the shoulder and the bicep for horizontal movement. And then we have pinned, double jointed elbows. You see this here. They go all the way up. The elbow pad on the right arm is very tight, and so you don't get full range of motion on that one. But that's okay. We can stretch it. We can stretch that out a little bit in the future. And then the wrist, of course, they have removable hands. And they go all the way around and then back and forth. Standard hands here. And then the torso, we have a swivel on the upper torso. And slight movement at the hips, but not too much. A ball joint between the hip and the leg. And we have a thigh cup for horizontal left to right movement. Pinned, double jointed knees, which are hindered a little bit by the same issue with the shoulder pad on the right arm. And then we have, going down from there, we have a cut in the calf for left to right horizontal movement, directly above the kick pad design. So I like how they incorporate the cut there to not create any unnecessary lines. And then the feet, they go back and forth. A lot of motion backwards. I like that. And side to side. So it moves very well. I really like the articulation. My only critique of it would be maybe loosen up or change the material on those pads, because they really do take away from the mobility of this action figure. But outside of that, it's your standard Jazwares. I would give it an A, even despite these shoulder pads. Now, as far as accessories go, it's pretty sparse. We have no entrance jacket. What we do have is we have multiple hands. We have one hand that looks like it's a right hand. See that on screen there, pointing up. And then we have a couple of fists that you can exchange for the open hands. And then we have two faces here. We have the standard stoic Will Ospreay face right there. And then we switch out for the secondary head. See here? This is not an easy swap. There we go. And this expression is more of a screaming and shouting intense expression, which I like a lot. I think I will leave that on as the standard for this action figure. So, I mean, as far as accessories go, it's very sparse. And usually I'm not a big fan of heads, but they do what I like with the heads. We have two completely different looking, yet quality heads. We have the stoic, normal face with a lot of character still. And then we have the intense shouting face. Both heads are equally designed, and they are dramatically different from each other. So I will give the accessories, though sparse, they were not milled in, I will give them an A. So for me, altogether, this is an A figure. I like the way it looks. I like the way it moves. Barring the hindrance of the elbow and knee pads a little bit. And I really, really like the alternate heads. And the hands, I mean, it's pretty much, you're going to get a pair of gripping hands and a pair of punching hands. That has become the standard. I think the pointing hand, while a nice touch, I think that was unnecessary. I think if you're really pushing to put more accessories in there, you could have thrown together a light entrance coat or something. It wouldn't have been that hard to do, even if you just wanted to do a cheaply Rubbermaid one. But with this action figure, I think that would have been a better choice than the alternate hands, because they don't bring a lot to the table. But that's my thoughts on it. After all of these years of being a Will Ospreay fan, finally having my hands on the action figure is a great thing. I'm glad to have it in my collection. And let me know what you guys think of the action figure. If you have it, is it one that you want to get, that you have? Am I wrong with my assessment? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you next time. If you'd like to contribute to the production of these videos, you can buy me a coffee with the QR code on the screen right now. And I will see you next time. Until then, keep buying them action figures. I am out.